Welcome to a very special episode of No More Heroes. I'm your host, Andy Malafrino. With me, as always, Pat George, top researcher.
The Duke of Dookie.
The Duke of Dookie, Pat George, professional researcher. And a very special guest, realizing he's not sure what he got himself into.
Oh, I knew the two of you. I knew exactly what I was getting.
Just fighting about candy out there. You know exactly what you're doing here.
But a very special episode. We realized first ever not fully schizophrenic guest.
Just a little, just slightly.
Just a little. But first ever in-person guest on a very special episode, talking today about MH370. Everyone in the audience, give it up for Nate Marshall.
Woo!
Nate, thanks so much for coming. I asked Nate to be on the podcast because we were talking about doing MH370, and then Nate on his own recently. I always forget because you're into such like fucking normal guy shit, and then occasionally you'll be like, Andy, did you know the government has energy weapons?
Well, one thing I will say about this is since it's become, because that's where it's at now, right? Is people think it's an energy weapon instead of
they think it's like advanced. They think it's like advanced tech that created a wormhole or something like that and brought it to a different secret location.
That's what. That was like one of the last things I saw when I first got. What helped me when I first got into it, I thought it was aliens.
Yeah.
So you know,
Because the footage, yeah.
So for me, I was like, aliens, real footage, 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm locked in.
If I remember correctly, too, this was around the same time as like the Tic Tac shit was coming out and stuff, or like maybe right before it.
No, I think when this actually happened, when this video dropped was I think around the same time. But when the Malaysian Airline happened, I think it was before the.
That was
TikTok.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a lot of CTE. So there's the theories. I think that we all came across is the thing that I'm most excited about, because I think the wormholes that you went down,
Let me get high.
essentially, get
Get locked in.
Good notice. If you have it, do it.
Smoke them if you got them, boy.
Whatever it is, do it.
Do it.
Yeah. You know that crystal meth you had tucked away for a special day, a rainy, what is it, emergency?
Yeah.
Just smash,
The
break that
emergency
glass.
crystal meth.
Yeah.
Break glass on the emergency crystal meth.
My emergency crystal method for World War III.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how German got
Get your hammer,
that's how the
buddy.
Germans got the upper hand on World War I.
Yeah.
They had the emergency crystal meth.
That was what was in the bunker, right? Oh wait, no, you said one.
All
God damn it.
over
No.
the place. I think they were just traveling.
No, you know what was in the bunker? A fucking boat to Brazil.
Hey, this guy over here.
This guy.
Wait, is Hitler in Brazil?
They thought he was in Brazil. The
Argentina.
one conspiracy is that he was in Argentina, for a while before he actually died.
I think I'm going to accept every conspiracy y'all bring up.
It's more
it's
fun.
my fact. Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, Hitler's in Brazil.
Honestly, when it does make sense, like we just did the first episode we did of the research era was
Yeah.
we're
We're the professional researcher era of No More Heroes.
and by the way, you can watch the episode. It's not really good. It's our research, but I'm solving these.
Yeah.
I'm getting these.
You guys are getting to the bottom.
I got to the bottom of this one. I got to the bottom. I actually found like you got. I'm so that's why I was excited to find out like where are you at with it? Where are you at with it?
Yeah.
And where because I think I got it. And I got the particulars.
And for context of Pat saying I got it, he was telling me this before we recorded Drag the Lake, and then he brought up He brought up the band Better Lovers. He's like, yeah, they just released a new what are those called? And I go, album.
That's how you know I got the answers. I had to make room.
His whole brain is MH370. He doesn't have room for any other info.
Get it?
Oh no, I've been there.
Smoke
there.
it while you
know
got
what?
it,
Now it's making sense. Now I believe everything Pat's saying.
Right.
I've definitely been there where that's all you're taking in.
Yeah.
Just a million. Just my like you don't you ever do like the YouTube queue where it's just 10 videos on the same subject. It's like, you look at the thing. It's like 4 hours and 63 minutes.
You start a video and you're like,
This is stupid.
Yeah.
Because I started saying 5 hours.
No, dude, I have been there though. I was like, oh, looks like this guy's been on 9 podcasts, so I'll probably listen to those Saturday.
It is funny though. You see the running time and you're like, fucking 5-hour video. You're like, bullshit, and you're like 3 hours and 46 minutes in. You're like,
I'm still figuring it out. I might need more. I might need seconds.
But
now I'm very curious about you getting to the bottom of things, because the thing I learned by getting deep into conspiracies is like once you think you're at the bottom, you start to realize you're like, oh, there's a lot more caverns to go down.
oh shit, now I'm here.
But no, that's a good start, Nate. What's your general place on that? Because if you're new to this, we're not going to spend this one necessarily doing the step by step. I mean, we'll go through it broadly. But
What's the Reddit called? Do you remember what the subreddit's called? Just because I feel like if you hit the subreddit while you're listening, you can get like a bunch of cool videos. I don't.
Yeah. If you have the time, there's a good podcast called Lord Lodge. They do a good breakdown. Don't watch the Netflix show. Netflix show fucking sucks.
Netflix doc stinks.
Sucks.
It doesn't talk about the energy weapons.
No.
For a split second.
Not one energy
Mostly
weapon.
the families, fucking pussies.
Oh yeah, that's our favorite critique of the documentaries.
Too much family.
Well, they'll just be like, please interview the family who lost their father.
When they pulled her torso out of the water, I was so upset. Like, yeah, I got it.
Wait, they pulled out bodies?
No, I'm saying
Just
just
as a joke. Wait, no, he's like, oh wait, let me figure out how they feel about their family member that went missing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting, sad. And then they're like, let's focus on this for 20 more minutes.
Yeah. So I got an abridged mini timeline if we can. So it's March 8th. 2014.
This is
Kuala Lumpur.
My birthday month.
To Beijing.
Ooh, I wish I knew. I wish I was just a little gayer and knew.
This was the present I wanted.
What's your horoscope thing?
Cancer.
Yeah.
It's a
fishy.
Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. It's a 6-hour flight. Mm-hmm. The co-pilot is Farik Abdul Hamad.
I want to
already
chime
sketchy.
in. Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did y'all hear you might. Yeah, I see you got notes. So you might. I might be jumping the gun. And I apologize.
No.
Did y'all hear the one part of the conspiracy that there was like a bunch of maybe traders heading over to Beijing?
Oh,
there was allegedly. Oh, wow.
No. That's I think one of the theories that I came across, and you might be explaining it because I was like, I don't understand why he. Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. But I actually
have more information than I realized.
He's a 27-year-old, and this is he's a first officer taking his last training flight before taking his captain's exam.
Yeah.
For some reason, that stuck out to me like big time. I don't know why.
So to me, that stands out until you find out the other pilot has been fucking doing it forever.
53-year-old Zahari Ahmad Shah.
Which one of those two was the one they blamed suicide on?
So what was the last guy you just said? The 53-year-old.
Yeah.
They were the one they were trying to pin suicide on because he had just started filing for divorce from his wife. But funny information about that, I was looking into that. He wasn't it wasn't like, oh, his wife was leaving him. He's torn up about it. He was divorcing his wife.
Right. Oh, he had a new bitch.
His wife wouldn't let him have more bitches. Because apparently in Malaysia,
so he was killing them.
Well, apparently there's for some families, it's not aggressively common, but it's not unheard of. Where in that culture, it's socially acceptable for some people to as long as you're keeping your main piece happy, healthy, a good house, you can get a little pussy on the side. Yeah. And his wife was like, I don't like all that pussy you're getting on the side. And he was like, well, it's kind of my thing is flying planes and getting pussy on the side.
Wait, can I segue real quick? You said the flying planes getting pussy? Well, when I was going to Milwaukee this past weekend, there was an older woman. I guess there's something that went viral on TikTok where it's some sort of trading cards or whatever it is you can get. If you have it, you can get into the cockpit after the plane lands and look around. And this older woman who was there with her dude, they did a thing, and you could just see this they're all the same age, so the older pilot's a little older too, just rizzing this lady up in front of her husband, just
being a pilot,
pushing her in the chair and spinning her.
Oh, in the cockpit,
but we're sitting up front so we can see.
Yeah,
it's just fucking.
It's got to be endless. like you said, Riz to fucking. You're just like, you want to see my plane?
Yeah. You want to see a view no one really gets to see, bruh. It's
Yeah.
No, you're not killing yourself that way. It's just too cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you would think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You ever
So-
see,
Is this where we're going?
can I say one last plane thing about how cool it is?
Sure.
And then I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
don't be.
You ever see? There's cool videos on YouTube of like people who fly like personal planes,
Yeah.
and it's just always these like young dudes just flying their girlfriends around, and it just looks like in my mind like this is the coolest nigga. Like he has to just a kid. who
My
just-
buddy used to do that in high school. I had a friend who knew how to fly a plane, and he told me, he was like, dude, it's the easiest pussy you'll get in your life.
It has to
Just
be.
find,
Yeah.
because you can just.
It's way better
we
than a
lived
sports
in,
car.
We lived in
Better than
PA.
a Ferrari.
We lived in PA. He'd drive her across a couple states in no time, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, damn, he definitely got head while flying a plane. That's so cool. He got plane head. he got airhead.
In my mind, that's so you just don't do it, but maybe, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I'm driving getting roadhead, I'm still like you've never been worried about like the thing getting
Are
nudged.
we candidates for that? I don't know. I mean, I don't have the.
I figured it out. I put the share back.
For me, at a certain
I just
point,
drive like this.
You never been worried about like the car getting hit into like reverse while you're on the highway or
Oh
something?
yeah.
That's
Or
what I'm-
park.
I worry about I worry about that, but I get overpowered by yay head.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty. I mean, I'm curious to see your angle of it, but like,
Yeah.
I think people try to go around with like the suicide conspiracy, where they try to point to like his flight log data.
Yeah.
That there was some flight logs that kind of went the route he flew the plane.
But wasn't it
before
like the training? It was in his training simulator,
and also
right?
it was in a training simulator, and also that was a few flights out of thousands of flights he does on that thing every day. He doesn't do thousands every day, but he does a shitload of he did a shitload of flights on that thing every fucking day.
Yeah.
So you can't nitpick a few flights that kind of lined up.
So there's a really weird angle that really kind of corroborates that story. So it is through his YouTube channel.
His YouTube,
His YouTube channel.
the pilot had a YouTube channel.
I'm curious about this because his
didn't-
YouTube channel was so wholesome.
Right. And
It
that's-
was like, hey, I'm going to show you how to put a caulk on the
I'm
siding on your
gonna
house.
show you how to fix your refrigerator.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you how
fucking
to
air
strip a
conditioner.
screw.
Right, and all this shit. So like,
I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. This is new,
Right.
Yeah.
for me.
And that's actually in the YouTube, like one of the videos. He's doing a video right in front of the flight simulator that he actually.
And on top of the flight simulator, it said suicide path.
Well, it's weird that it was almost identical to the exact same path that the flight took that day.
Yeah.
And when they went to look where that was, or actually, I believe wreckage ended up washing up to the beach after that, which what actually ended up stopping a couple other conspiracies of like it being taken by aliens.
Is that
it being shot down was another thing that I saw.
That's what I
Yeah.
think the rumor. Like before I saw the alien stuff, I thought it was just like it got shot.
To me, when I started hearing some of the practical like explanations, that made me really that kind of like leveled me to where I wasn't thinking portals or Bermuda Triangle or anything like that. What I was thinking was this guy had a regular he was a regular ass dude.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't know how to translate the plane into the pussy.
Yeah.
And maybe couldn't get other bitches. That's the thing I'm thinking is because if he has this, because not only did he have that exact same path, the one that he took allegedly to commit the largest murder-suicide of all time
Yeah.
was data that he also tried to erase from his flight simulator. You know what I mean?
But they said he tried to erase it.
Yeah. Why was that? Why would that be? Why would he have attempted to try to erase
But also
that data?
they just said he tried to erase
right,
that data.
and so that's a lot of the stuff you're gonna have to take at face value. Is like, why would they say that it was there, and then try to erase? They didn't say like, oh, he tried to erase like all of the data from it or anything like that. I'm sure he would have known how to do that.
Wait, so he tried to erase some of the data?
Yeah.
Okay, but like, why would he do that if he's going to commit suicide? Why
Also,
would he?
how-
Why would he care?
Oh, I was going to say, how
Right.
did they find that he tried to erase some of it? But I'm assuming they like went through his hard drive, like a deep dive in his hard drive.
I think of
could tell.
in a sense of much like Suicide Forest in like Japan.
Yeah.
I think there's like maybe not.
Your cat was slowly drop its asshole right on my phone.
He's a good host.
He's a good cat.
But like he had family members that actually were, or his like family were saying that was completely different than he was. Like depression's an actual thing, like a real thing. So like maybe he's taking these flights all the time, and it's just not. He's just not fulfilled by it. I think the way more practical thing is he tried to just fucking end his life, but in a mysterious way, to where it's this thing of like it could have been.
But how could you mysteriously go? Like, how could he mysteriously go off the radar like that? Like, I don't think a pilot can actually just do anything in the cockpit to just go off the radar.
And this is the more concerning thing to me, is because either he just needed, maybe he was just trying to think it out. Maybe he was trying to take the plane somewhere else. Maybe he was trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
okay,
like
so
that.
you're, because the thing that makes me a little skeptical of the suicide thing is it is weird to me.
It's
like
not the videos.
What?
It's not the videos.
Well, that's another conversation I want to have, is about the videos. Is like being like, I'm not even 100% sure those videos are like for a while I thought the videos were definitely real, and then I watched some other shit where I'm like, now I don't think they're real, but then I'm like back and forth on that. But the suicide thing, the thing that gets me with the suicide thing is like, why would he wait till 6 hours in to do that? Why would he do, if he's killing himself, why would he add this like mystery element where they can't find the whole plane?
The location of the likely crash has the reason it's never been recovered, because, or most of it hasn't been recovered, or the bodies, is because there is, I believe it is, hold on, 3 miles deep where they are. So like not only is it a like very remote location, but it's also enormously deep.
And they're saying he knew it was very deep right there ahead of time too. Is that part of pilot training?
So I think maybe just in general of like just knowing locations.
I feel like mapped out that area.
Yeah, something like that. But like that's the kind of research that like that's the hole that I really think is, because if you just like look at his life, it's like it's one of those things where like he had a really kind of underwhelming home life. He had, like, you can see it on his YouTube channel. He's not happy in that home life. Maybe it's not. This is okay. So
how can you see it on the YouTube channel?
Just because it's just him doing like fucking. He's not like going like, hey, hon, let's do this. But like, he's not fake doing it. He's not actually laughing. He's just like, and then you turn the pressure on, and
so does he like look sad in his videos? Or is it just like mundane and doesn't seem fulfilling?
This is the concerning part.
Can I, since we can't, can I look at it on my phone for like 2 seconds? I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't see his face. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah.
You know the name
Captain Zahari. Zaharie.
Okay, and I'm still obviously listening.
Yeah. So this is the concerning part, and this is why I lean towards this more like a neglect of proper like management of a company. Let's just say, because he had become noticeably on the decline as far as his mental health, and his daughter even said he was unrecognizable. So like if he has.
His daughter said that?
His daughter said that. Now, another thing that was brought up was...
They got to her. She's been compromised.
Also that he was in no mental shape to be flying anyone else by any term whatsoever.
Wait, and I'm not trying to hit you with what are your sources on that. I'm more asking like who made these statements like that. Are you saying that was like mainly his daughter?
This was the findings from the investigation after the so in 2015, small pieces of the plane started to wash up on shore, showing damage similar to a plane that had struck water at high velocity. So like. That
again, this is what the government is finding.
right. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so they're also the ones that told us and went missing. How do you even know these people exist?
What?
Any of these people? Have you
on the plane?
Do you know any of these people?
Do I know them personally?
The pilot, the co-pilot, any of the victims? Anybody that knows any victims?
No, but the families were on the.
So you were told that there was a plane crash.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're saying no one on the plane's real?
No. I'm asking you. No. You're saying this is what they're telling us. This is what we're telling us. They also told us that the plane went missing, and you believe that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when does what they're telling us? do you fall off? You go, wait. Yeah, they're telling us that the plane's
I think they
missing.
had to say something because the families. There was going to be 200, or how many people were on that plane?
200.
It's like 230, 250.
227 and 12 flights.
You got to assume most of those people have at least 2 people that are family members.
Right.
So now you got, however many people that is.
So
then it's just because the word's going to get out if you don't say anything
or
kill 500 plus people.
So even if that's what his goal was, we don't know. So we truly don't know. There's the main things that we don't know. We don't know where his mental state was. Truly, we don't know if that's true or not. But that's not unbelievable. When the wreckage is starting to, do you believe that the wreckage did start to wash up?
Nope. I believe they found a piece of one of the hardest pieces of a plane. I think I saw something.
Yeah.
That said it was like a really hard piece of a plane to find or something, right?
And the thing that
identify.
The thing that I thought was weird, and it was kind of a little eye opening to me, was the fact that how easy it was for him to turn off the transmitter, basically the location device for the plane.
Yeah.
But I think it was the timing that it happened is why it also alludes to a plan, in my opinion. A suicide plan of him. It was as he was leaving Malaysian airspace and going into Vietnamese airspace is when he shuts off his transmitter.
Yeah, because the area where he did have if this is what happened, he does have a good time window to turn off the transponder. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe there's something in the cockpit to turn that off.
But you can't. I don't
wrong.
think you can. I don't think there's.
Yeah, as I'm saying that,
I don't think there's any way for
there's
a plane.
2 tracking devices.
As I'm saying,
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say, I don't think that in this world we live in with all satellites and tracking and all, I don't think there's a way to have a plane that it's just.
You just don't know where it is for a couple hours.
It's just it's too. It's like
I could see
it's
that.
not been enough of like no. We don't have world peace.
Yeah.
Right? Every country is like, what are they up to? All day, every day.
But
this could be a plane off the radar.
But the contrary to that would be is other countries wouldn't reveal it, so they wouldn't.
Right.
Other countries wouldn't reveal what tech they have to let you know that.
Right.
I thought we all pretty much do.
No.
That we had that. That's why China sent the balloon. Because they were like, we're
going to troll these motherfuckers.
We got to do some other shit now.
So
Because
That was so funny when I heard about the balloon because I was like, aren't we past balloons?
Do y'all also remember they shot down? Also, I don't know if people forget this.
Like 4 months after this plane went missing.
No. I think this is way after the plane went missing. Because this was like 2020, 2021. But when they shot down the balloon, then there was like news reports of the USA shooting down 2 other objects, but they never said what it was.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I was saying that because I was like, this is good for the pod.
Right. Yeah.
Deep dive into that.
That's
they shot down the balloon, and then there was 2 more things that the military did say we shot down over U.S. land.
Right.
And they just kept calling them unidentified.
Right.
They never said they were China anything, Russia anything. Drones.
Yeah.
They just said we shot some shit down and it went away.
That's why I don't think necessarily, even though because it does sound the shot down theory for the Malaysian airplane does make sense because of them going into Vietnamese airspace and not contacting them.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
And trying to be off the radar.
And trying to be off the radar.
If that's the thing.
Does Vietnam have stuff to shoot airplanes down?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like guns?
Yeah, but to go undetected and shoot a whole airplane down?
And that's what I'm saying is it might just be not reported by them. Maybe Malaysian Airlines doesn't want the whole world to know, our fucking idiot pilot didn't let Vietnamese people know and they killed 200. But then that would seem like it would be a great way to get into a war or to have a
getting shot down is the least likely one in my opinion.
Right. So
I don't see how any country shoots a whole plane down and that doesn't get reported by anyone.
So it's at 1:19 was the last transmission with Malaysian airspace.
Yeah.
As they were going out into Vietnamese airspace.
Yeah.
A couple minutes after that, the last transmission, they turn off that manual tracker. There is another tracker in the plane that cannot be turned off manually.
Because there isn't there like a 20-minute pocket.
I think it's
before they get into the other, like whether it was like Vietnamese or like Chinese airspace. There's like a 20-minute pocket before they have to check in with the next guy.
Right. Yeah.
So this guy, it might not be that long, but he does have. I will say this: he has the time to turn off the tracker if that's a thing. Like how you were saying, like. You think it's like, oh, how do we not track any of this shit? But if there is a way to go dark, he has the time to do that.
So this is essentially. I'll just kind of lay out the rest of what I kind of theorize might have happened. That happens. He turns off the location device. There's the other locator on the plane that they can track. That only pings the plane once every hour to give its location. So that would lead to me another one. Hey, I can get at least this far before they are aware of what's happening. Because Malaysian Airlines is not tracking them anymore because they're like, okay, now they're in Vietnamese space. Go ahead. Vietnamese. As soon as he gets into Vietnamese airspace, he takes a 180-degree turn towards Australia. So he's probably headed right back out of theirs. So once he's got that ping off, he's made this trip. Like you said, hundreds of times for over years and years and years, he's made this trip. So he is very familiar. He might have the perfect spot that he wants to say, like, you know what? This is how I'm going to go out. This is how I'm going to do this. Now, how does he control the crew, the passengers that are like, what's going on? The co-pilot that's like, hey, boss, what's up?
Yeah.
Right?
That part doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you
the
right
co-pilot,
now.
the co-pilot one does add a
Depressurized.
lot of confusion and mystery.
There's a theory that maybe he depressurized the plane to incapacitate the passengers and the other crew through hypoxia. That's oxygen deficiency.
Well, he basically depressurizes. He basically depressurizes the cabin. Those little masks that come down, they realistically give you like 20 minutes at most of like
used the
air.
emergency air supply that was in the cabin, putting them out, repressurized the cabin, and just went on his little merry way.
Yeah.
Because only a couple hours, like I think there's only one or two more pings, and the ping.
Well,
the
if
last
he
ping was
repressurizes the cabin, won't they start waking up?
No, not necessarily. No.
His cabin,
Yeah.
Oh, so
not
they
the
all just
plane.
die.
Yeah, they're all passed out.
Or they're not dead already if that happens?
No, and even then, let's say he just repressurized the cabin so he doesn't run out of air or he doesn't die. He could have they could be dead. He could have done it. Like that's just another. Again, we have no way to prove this.
Okay.
But this is a theory that would make sense. No, you're good. So if there was that kind of situation, let's see. So yeah, he does that. Goes into Vietnamese airspace. The remaining transmitter only pings about once every hour. Cannot be manually shut off. And before the signal was lost for good, it was somewhere over the Indian Ocean, about where that simulator had projected it.
And I also,
making this trip multiple times before, I feel like he just knew the perfect time, the perfect place to just fucking end it all. It's all right, buddy.
Just like, I have to Google this.
Now, this could be also another theory that plays into this. Maybe somebody else is responsible for it. Have you heard the theory about the high-tech hijacking that could have potentially?
Well, wait. I'm not done with the. I'm not done with the suicide thing.
The large murder suicide.
Yeah. Because I'm not done with that.
The supersize.
Yeah. The guy who's a little bummed out, so he kills 230 people. That's the part. The suicide just doesn't connect with me. Like I'd have to look in. I didn't hear that stuff about like, oh, he just wasn't the same. But at the same time, like to put that much elaborate effort into a suicide attempt, and then to on top of that make it so you can't, like, even for, it's been a decade, like you can't find any good evidence of like where the fucking plane is.
Right.
That just doesn't seem that doesn't seem super plausible. Like
that doesn't seem realistic in today's world.
Yeah, if I'm gonna I would thought he would fly the plane up and fly it right down. It is weird to take like 6 hours to kill yourself.
Also, make a scene out of it.
Yeah.
Like, why is it? Who's killing themselves? Like, I'm gonna kill all these people quietly. No one will even be sure I did it.
But also, why is there never like contemplation. I mean, Papa Roach said it the best. Contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
Right? These guys do it all the time.
See, here's my thing. Is like I could see him. It's a 6-hour flight. Originally, it was supposed to be 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's contemplating it, you can contemplate it for 5 hours and 45 minutes, and then when you finally decide, you can go burn and just nosedive.
Right. Maybe
you know
he
what
did.
What?
Maybe he did.
But he did, based off what you're saying. It's like, no, he wiggled right into this airspace, and then he depressurized the cabin and turned off the emitter. It's like, if I'm gonna kill myself and kill everyone in the plane, like, am I that worried about like getting caught?
And why don't you just do something fun, like shoot up the plane?
But that's what I'm saying.
Do a couple loop-de-loops?
Okay, let's say the YouTube videos are not. Maybe I'm just projecting, or I'm just saying, like, maybe I'm just thinking what it would be if I'm sitting there making videos of me and my wife fixing an air
Can I be
conditioner.
honest? When you were saying that, the reason I wanted to see it is because I was thinking that shit sounds dope. Just sitting around like, look, I don't know how to fucking.
It's great for instructional.
Yeah, he's doing like helpful dad videos.
Yeah, that seems kind of like that's kind of
It's
dope.
very
You're
nice,
a pilot, you fuck bitches. You got I know how to do things. YouTube channel. Look at how much of a man I am.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
he
point.
looks. When I saw his face, he looked like he looks like a dude's dude.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but I see more of a. So, like, you know when, like, people have these cool hobbies, like pilots, or like what else? Like, they're like, they know how to create super weapons and shit like that. Like, they're super techs. Most like engineers are fucking dorks. So, like, his perfect fucking way out might have been like, I'm gonna be the most successful person in the world, or like murder suicide in the world, or he was truly not in a mental state, and that's why that's more believable to me, because of operational neglect in the airlines. Now, how many Boeing jets were just put out and they're like, yeah, we know that door is faulty, but send them up. You know, how many of, like, this is the neglect in airlines. If he was noticeably not in a mental state to fly, why is that the most unbelievable? Because I think there is neglect that you can point at to this day. They didn't learn anything from this.
Yeah,
they didn't learn to put a ping in there that's a little bit sooner. If you don't have somebody responding within 15 minutes, you scramble jets or some shit, because they might be fucking rogue and they might do something crazy like that.
Sure,
I would think the same thing.
I don't subscribe to smart dudes being dorks all the time.
I just don't think he was thinking fun. Like, I don't think he was thinking, like, I'm gonna go blow up this. I think he's thinking of a serene, like, peaceful pilot's death in his mental state. That was him, like, going like, this is what's best. And I don't think he was thinking of the 220-something people. I think he was severely depressed, and it was going unnoticed.
No,
I don't know if this. My fault.
No, you go ahead.
I don't know if this is the same or not, but I can't decide whether or not I feel like a pilot's death is something that is even a thing. Like, and what I mean by that is like,
oh, like planes going down in general.
well, like I'm gonna have a peaceful pilot's death. I'm gonna just fly until I'm dead.
I don't know.
Like, I feel like that's like a trucker being like, I'm gonna have a trucker's death. I'm gonna just let go of the wheel and let God take me.
What about Gravity, when George Clooney just, you know?
What was, I don't know. I
You didn't see that?
That one movie about outer space.
Yeah, where the guy, where the astronaut goes, you know how I'm gonna die? I'm gonna go float off into space.
Well, see, that-
You're like,
that's what I'm saying.
fucking stupid.
I
I agree, but
No, that's badass.
See, that actually sounds, because no matter
why
what,
is that
like,
badass? That's lonely.
nah, because no matter what
I would
though,
die to see space.
no matter what though, if you're doing, even if you like are off the grid, no one's tracking you, no one's knows where you are. If you're doing a plane crash, you're still gonna have to like nosedive and deal with all the sensors beeping and doing all that shit.
But
you're not
again-
actually gonna get a peaceful drifting into space death.
But if you give everybody night juice and you go,
You don't get night juice. You got to go crash the plane.
doesn't give a shit. He's the one going through the shit.
But
He's
you
like,
just said he wants a peaceful death.
I don't know, man. I think maybe
everybody, including himself.
I guess
he
for
might,
me,
he
I'm
might
not
know
even
how to
like,
shut the things off.
I'm not even like you were bringing up the shit about, you know, the plane, the airline had neglect. They're not, you know, like you made the great point about they're sending all those planes up with fucking bolts missing and doors are flying off. I just think, they could have neglected and he could have still been suicidal and got the plane up there. I think that doesn't necessarily explain. That's not, in my mind, that's not necessarily a factor in the whole process where it's like, why did he kill himself and all these people in this very specific, elaborate way that he didn't need to do? That's the big sticking point on the suicide theory goes, if he wanted to kill himself, he didn't have to do this over the top elaborate process.
Yeah, he didn't have to do it. You're right.
Yeah.
I agree, but like, I mean, nobody has to, you know, Bud Dwyer didn't have to have a press conference to shoot himself. He could have fucking done it in his office.
But the Bud Dwyer press conference, it's like he's trying to make a statement. He's trying
that's
to,
what I'm saying.
He's trying to have mass attention. I guess what I'm asking you is like, what's the reason why he would do any of this?
10 years later, we're doing a podcast about it in my apartment.
But real quick though, I don't imagine a pilot. And I'm not saying pilots are dumb. I just don't imagine a pilot being able to figure out exactly how to go completely
20 years experience.
That's what I'm saying. Is
pilot.
I think the suicide thing is an absolute sham. If it's not, I'm not saying that going jumping the gun. I'm not saying it's aliens. Yeah. But
not saying it either.
Yeah, not saying. Yeah. I'm not saying it. I'm just trying not to get ahead. I think I was jumping the gun earlier, so I'm trying to stay within the lines. But that's bullshit.
Yeah, I just think
no, he jumped. He was,
I guess the whole like to have people talk about it theory doesn't hold a lot of water. I don't see where the like evidence is of that. I mean, I don't know. It reminds me of like when you see those signs going over social media where they'll be like be careful, they're putting ecstasy in your candy, and you're like, that's what pedophiles want, is to have children rolling in an area they're not in.
Well, I think there's been other plane disappearances, right? Like there's Egypt Air Flight 804. That was on May 19th, 2 years later. Disappeared. Completely disappeared. Like, I don't know why we're not talking about that one, except for maybe...
They didn't make a Netflix documentary.
That one also might have been... You're right, actually. Also, we got to wait 2 years. Maybe it's a 10-year cycle.
Yeah, Netflix has a strict decade plane documentary policy.
And to me, this is why I don't think that this necessarily... Like, it's not like something that happens very commonly. And I think that's why, like, to me, it's like if the answers are... government thing, it could be a wormhole, could be a Bermuda Triangle type deal. Triangles are not just in Bermuda, by the way. They're all over the world. There's triangular patches of land that things just disappear in. And that is something I do buy into.
Yeah.
So maybe he was trying to hijack the plane and take it to somewhere else. Maybe he had some kind of weird deal going on. Maybe it was like, what was the conspiracy? The
Taking it to Russia?
No, yeah, the people that were like...
Oh, no, they were going to China was the conspiracy.
Yeah, like...
They were engineers and scientists.
People that had gone against them or something.
And I heard that one too, where like, I heard one where it's like, everyone on the plane was the most important person. Then I heard someone say, everyone on the plane was a fucking nothing, insignificant person.
Well, I don't think it was a bunch of them. I think it was like a small group.
Sorry. So let me interject this about my general perspective on this whole situation. Is before we did the podcast, I was pretty convinced in like energy weapons, and I was like, yeah, that plane fucking got zapped. It disappeared.
You think energy weapons are more likely than aliens?
No, I think aliens gave us energy weapons.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Obviously.
Yeah, and I gotta give props to Pat. He helped me get closer to that one 2 weeks ago. But no, so
we're working with them.
Yeah,
yes.
like before I dug into this, I was more into like energy weapons and aliens and stuff like that, and then I got more into it, and it made me not necessarily believe the mainstream story, but put a slight hurting on the more energy weapon alien story. And this is why it's like counteracting your suicide theory. I'm not coming to this in any way saying I know what happened. I'm coming this to say, like, both sides of the coin, in my opinion, have enough valid and invalid arguments.
Okay.
So, like, with the plane, in my opinion, I go, I get it. He crashed over where it's like 3 miles deep, but it's crazy there wasn't more debris. I told you. I got stuck on this is why I got so big into the mainstream story, cuz I go, okay, mainstream stories, plane crash. I go, where's the fucking debris? Because I got hooked on debris for like 2 days. I go, because it's like someone made a joke in the Netflix doc. There was like this one guy who just travels the world, and he was the only dude who found debris in like fucking Australia and shit like that.
Yeah.
And
what about the debris that washed up though?
I think, wasn't that like over 2 years later?
A year.
A year later. For me, it felt like an incredibly small amount of debris.
Only 3% of the world's oceans have been explored. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Like total. Yeah. And the Earth is more than 80% water. So like for it to get lost where he crashed might have been, I don't know, has anybody explained, and this is something that I couldn't find, the jet streams in that area? Mm-hmm. That's something that you can do research with. I learned that from Dexter. You can find a jet stream where
which episode of Dexter was the jet stream?
It's when he found out when they did the Bay Harbor Butcher, and then they found out that he's like, I can't just put the bodies like here. Hey, you better fucking stop right now. I'll fucking kill you. Stop it.
What was it?
She was about to try to jump here, and she's not graceful.
Beast.
But but there's like a just chew on the napkin. But there's like basically there's like obviously jet streams that go all over the planet.
Yeah.
That like if they were to crash in this area, he may know, well, we're gonna sink here, and then the jet stream pulls us this way.
Okay.
And they'll never find us. It is a mystery that he may, like, I understand what you guys are saying. Why would you fucking do this? Like I said, if you think about suicide rationally, why would somebody jump off the Golden Gate Bridge?
But that kind of goes...
Because they want to die.
But no, what I'm saying, though, is like the Golden Gate Bridge is a way to do it where you don't... Like, people don't normally, when they kill themselves, very rarely has someone...
No one's thinking rationally.
But, here, this is what I'm trying to say, though, is very rarely do people bring 230 people along to their death. That's what I'm trying to say is like...
Especially and not make a big deal out of it. If you're going to kill all the people, you're going to make it a fuss.
Yeah, and
you're
like
gonna go on the thing. You're gonna say
Allah
like Akbar.
Yeah, right. And that's why I don't think it's definitely not.
He did have one of those names.
Right. By the way, both of them. I'm thinking maybe it could be the co-pilot.
Nah, co-pilot was getting too much pussy. He didn't want to.
Right.
He was getting in trouble for bringing bitches to the cockpit.
Dude, that was like he was going to be a captain, and that might have been a thing too.
I think we solved it.
It could have been a religious thing. Like he's like
they were fucking.
He got head while flying. He threw it and it hit park.
Dude, he fucked for 4 hours. He wasn't. As he kept fucking her, he'd move the plane this way. He'd move the plane that way.
Hello. Like, he went like this. He went like, hold on. Let me see. And he clicked off the transmitter. Okay, yeah, go.
Oh, that's as he was coming. He's like, fuck, and he just hits the transponder.
And he's like, oh. No, I think that okay. So what? Even that could have been a thing. Maybe it could have been the co-pilot in the sense that the pilot's like, man, I've done this a million times. It's so easy. You're gonna be a captain next flight anyway.
Go take a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking chill out and then just be like, you got it. And it could have been that. But like that's why I'm saying like, and normally, Andy, I wanna be aliens. I wanna be energy weapons. I wanna be portals. But this one, to me, even if half of it's true, to me, I believe more in negligent regulations in a maybe overworked, unhappy fucking dude that was like, well, I don't want to kill my wife.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. But like, if I can just sidebar real quick, there was a gentleman that I used to work with back in Florida. He may rest in peace, John. John killed himself on Christmas morning by shooting himself in his bed while his wife was away at church.
That's a fuss.
Because she wouldn't give him a divorce.
That he's making a big fuss out of it.
Why would John do that?
This is a fuss.
It's a fuss.
It's a fuss.
It's a bit of a
Right.
fuss.
So we don't know what the wife and him.
Yeah.
We
No,
don't
but
know.
that's cool. So that's still making it seem like he didn't do it that way because
This seems like a fuss. I'm saying, like, he knows that they're gonna look for the plane.
But I hear what you're saying.
He
but
knows that they're gonna be looking for it, and he knows that nobody. Sorry,
I
he knows
don't
that-
think it's that easy to make a commercial plane disappear though.
Well,
just have
guess
a
what,
fuss.
Nate? We're talking about one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I don't think it was easy. I think it was a
yeah.
very complicated thing that happened.
That he
And
planned
no,
But also too,
and
like,
did perfectly. He just successfully. Like, what you would think rationally, why would you want to kill a bunch of people and then kill yourself?
if he could have
Because
done all
it's
this,
just-
why would his YouTube videos be screwed? Like how to like make a cabinet and not how to like.
yeah, why is there
code?
not one video of him
Because
being
he wasn't
emo
about
shit
it
in
wasn't
it?
about the message. He just wanted to fucking kill himself, and he wanted to do it where, like, this is the way that he chose to do it. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody chooses the way they kill themselves.
I'm not, and I'm not saying like you would know
We're not gonna
why.
put this on YouTube. 'Cause
I'm
we're
not
saying kill
sa-
yourself a
what?
bunch of times. I said because we're saying kill ourselves and suicide a bunch.
It's fine. It doesn't
Kill
matter.
yourself, suicide.
Hey,
Are they not going to let y'all put this one?
No, it just might get like
We might get energy weapons.
We might get a little blockski algorithm
man.
probably won't like it. But I'll put it this: hey, suicide, kill yourself.
Yeah, take that, suicide.
I guess.
Scram,
Yeah. Hey, suicide, scray.
scram.
No, I guess where I'm coming from is like, I don't know the guy's mental state. I don't know like sort of where his head's at. I'm
Right.
just saying, from what I know about suicide, I'm no expert or nothing. I mean, I haven't done it, so I'm not great at it. But from what,
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll fucking show you,
High
Nate.
five. Welcome
Do
to Nodal.
it. Do you or bitch?
Fucking show you, dude. I guess for me, all this behavior, in my opinion, goes contrary to like what you would expect from a suicidal person. It's if it is what you're saying, you do have to acknowledge it's incredibly to like the 10th degree abnormal for a guy trying to kill himself.
Big time. And that's
So
so
I'm-
it's incredibly abnormal for aliens to do this. They haven't done this before either.
What?
I've never heard of aliens doing this before either.
This could be the first time.
Right? This could be the first time.
The first time suicide.
And that's what I'm saying is the one thing I can prove is there's a ton of suicide that happens for real every day.
So we used.
I know that.
Okay. I guess. But I
Barely.
I guess this is why. Wait, what did you say?
I didn't commit
He said
enough.
barely. He said this is a bunch of suicide that happens every day, and I was like, barely. 'Cause it's the obvious, not right thing.
Oh, okay.
And then I was going to jump out the window, and then there was going to be two on the show.
You both were cowards.
That'd be so funny.
You both weren't
We
about
both jump out the window. Nate goes, I don't know how to upload this.
It's definitely not getting on YouTube now. He just shuts the camera off. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, to me, it's just like, everything you're laying out. If it was a suicide, it's like the most abnormal suicide I've ever heard.
Maybe
It just
the
doesn't seem.
best ever.
Honestly, it's not the best. The best would be like fucking do a loop-de-loop and crash the plane in front of more people.
That guy in Brazil that went. Meh.
Yeah, that was cool.
Was I forget? Was his a suicide or
No,
was
that
his-
was just-
it was like
well,
a mistake, right?
Again, if you're listening to Twitter, there's a bunch of high-ranking Brazilian people on the plane, or military people.
Yeah.
But if you're just
Every
watching
time,
it, it looks like super duper failure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't think. I just think if it was a suicide, he wouldn't. It just feels odd and elaborate for no reason when you don't have to do any of that. Like, if you want to kill yourself, you can very easily just crash the plane. You don't have to do any of these like weird, hyper-specific, elaborate processes.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing. I feel like we've been on this for a while. There were some other fun shit with because you were bringing it up before about this was the part where I was like, I fucking hate this Netflix documentary. The whole Russian hijacking scenario. That one, because that one was the funniest. So basically, if you guys don't know, this guy was like trying to. So like in the official narrative, you see the plane go when it's supposed to go up north. It takes a hard left turn and then it keeps going up, and then they think it like curved down and hit the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
But this guy's saying
Native American
Ocean, Indigenous Peoples Ocean.
It's kicked off.
Yeah.
Fucking bigot.
Indigenous Peoples Ocean. So a lot of people think it goes into the
First
Native
Nationers.
American Ocean.
Yeah.
And but he's like, well, I did the research, and there were 3 Russian people on the plane. So
Fucking asshole.
here's my elaborate. So many fucking cats, dude. It's got to be a one.
Have that little YouTube cat fight.
Sorry, we got 1 cat per conspiracy pod policy. So then it's basically like, because there's he literally like did the math, and he was like, the transponder, there's a way to turn them off in the like under part of the plane.
Yeah.
And that area to get to the under part of the plane is not locked. It's easy to open.
So this was espionage.
And then there were 3 Russians on the plane. So those Russians
those Russians.
So they got into that area, which you have to like remove a rug and just not have the whole flight crew notice you removing this like heavy metal thing. So he goes down, turns off the transponders, and then this guy just makes up a technology where you can pilot a plane from the undercarriage, and they show that.
I did see
This is like a Steven Seagal movie.
And
That's awesome.
And then they show this this one, I forget who the dude was, but they show this like plane expert, and he was like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He's like, that technology doesn't exist.
But this is my thing too. Like, first of all, I want to shout out Russians in general. The fact that they're at a tier almost close to aliens with conspiracies nowadays. It's like aliens, Russians, Chinese, portals.
Well, the Russians made it into the Roswell. Have you ever heard that angle of Roswell?
No.
That the initial craft they found in Roswell had a bunch of like little gray people in there, and some people have theorized that they were like deformed Russian children that Russia dressed up and crashed over here
to make us go aliens.
Aliens! It's just Russian retarded kids.
Here, you take our duds.
You take our rejects.
I think that's like I think it's the hijacking thing of it is like, unless it was the pilot and like there was some kind of, and that's why I'm like, there was no message, there was no, like we're taking this in the name of, we're doing this, like it was. That's why it just seems like the hijacking ones, like that's why I was able to.
about to fuck.
No, they're gonna make love.
Make love. Come on, Nate.
Come on, dude. I just had there was a cat's about to fuck in the corner. I couldn't just power through that.
Whoa, wait! What if it was cats?
I think it was fucking
Some
cats.
cats were fucking in the cockpit. And he's like, "What's going on over there?"
There's just a cat like, look over here while these Russians hijack the plane.
So the energy weapons thing, that's the sky beam thing? Is that the weird big beam that comes from the outer space thing, or is it like something else that I'm not?
You haven't seen the videos?
The orbs going around.
Oh yeah.
So that was okay. So first of all, and this is where I run into. I don't know what to believe, so that's why I have to like take in all of the information and actually go like, what do I think actually could have happened?
Yeah.
And when I saw that video, I was like, that's the craziest video I've ever seen in my life. If that is real, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
You think you would lose your mind? Because
If I really think that is real, I don't think it's real. And then also I hear it's doctored.
See,
It's
I
doctored
think
footage.
it's real, but it's not breaking my brain.
But
I feel like you're saying it was, like if you have to.
You saw like balls floating around the plane and just going, and it just disappears.
Yeah, I gotta
that
be
doesn't
honest.
break your brain.
I gotta be honest. Yeah, you.
I would not be able to comprehend that. I honestly thought that was real.
I let that be my world for about 2 weeks, and it was a rough 2 weeks.
Really?
Well, because I'm also, by the way,
That's crazy.
I know it's
wait,
crazy, but I think it's crazy.
Here,
I think
real quick,
I think existence is crazy. So
I've been saying on here too, I'm in a different area where like I've just been considering aliens in a realistic way very recently. Yeah. So to get hit with aliens and energy weapons that can teleport us, it was like a lot at first.
So then my thing would be like, so like when you think,
and I could be just talking shit.
No.
I could be looking outside and see that happen to a plane and be like,
yeah, like there's a show called
Dude,
you just like
if you
collapse.
saw a plane disappear,
Dude.
you'd be like,
if I saw a plane crash, I would lose my mind. I would scream. I wouldn't know how to react. If I was in New York at 9/11, I would just go, ah! I'd be one of those people that's like, hey, what? Ah!
Well, so you know what? So you know what's funny?
My neighbor's gonna call the cops. We're just screaming.
I'm really gonna have to double check this part when I edit it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be annihilating.
We all did proper mic technique.
We're still.
I got a headphone in here.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
It's just turned off. It's just lowered
it's not
all the
plugged
way.
in. Yeah.
It's not plugged in. It's in, but it's not plugged in.
But like
So-
that would break. Yeah, that would absolutely.
Well,
break
okay.
my
So
brain.
when
I
I see,
think it won't break my brain. I think it's because I've been thinking about this shit for like my whole life, like all of this weird shit being
Right.
real. In my mind, it's all real, and I just haven't seen it yet.
And-
so if I saw it, I'd be like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
and I know for me, when there's certain things that I've just like whatever happened, it just clicks in, and I've like accepted them as reality.
Yeah.
I go through a little bit of time where I'm like, if it's like a depressing thing about the government or if it's a crazy thing about aliens, I go through like different types of like heavy emotion.
Yeah.
And then a moment after like a week or so, a moment just sets in where I go, well, this is part of it, so just accept it.
Right.
And like, I now readjust my worldview to be like, this is real. So I don't know if it would break my brain, but
There is that footage that I've seen. Like it's
Is it like religion?
no, of what?
Is the reason why that would be weird is because
No.
It could be a weapon.
No,
not
because
aliens.
there's a show. Well, there's a show called Leftovers that was on HBO. It's like the Rapture show.
that good, right?
Wasn't it like based
That's
off a
awesome.
book?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't read the books, obviously, but I did.
that might be a Stephen King one.
Was it
No.
Left Behind or Leftovers?
Leftovers.
Okay.
And it's
Left Behind
so
is
like
the book.
essentially like a rapture happens, right? Just random people just disappear one day, and then a bunch of people, like it's a portion, almost like 50% or something of the world.
Sorry, I just missed
The
such
world just disappears at one moment, and some people go in like have like a psychosis from it because of they cannot comprehend that somebody was right here and they're just gone.
Yeah.
And like it happened everywhere. Like, so like I think there's a true like there is a medical possibility that if I thought that was if somebody wasn't like this is doctored footage, because like that Tic Tac footage and some of that other stuff is not super great quality.
Yeah.
But there is one that I
But
saw.
you know what it is.
But there is one that I saw. No, I don't know what it is.
Well, you
I
don't know what it is
what
because
I'm
the
looking at.
government just said it's a thing.
They're showing me military footage where I'm like, I don't know what. Like when I see
Yeah.
that shit, live leak shit, sometimes unless it's perfect, like thermal, like cameras, I don't know who they're blowing up sometimes. But there's footage of this orb flying like super fast past this plane, and the slow down footage, it's super high def footage that they have of this thing, and it is not doctored. It is not like nothing's tampered with or whatever. And it
Wait,
does.
what is
It's the
this
one where they're
footage?
going like opposite
It's
directions to
yeah,
each other. I've
it's
seen it.
It's like a ball. It's,
Yeah.
The plane is here and it goes like this.
Yeah,
past
yeah,
it,
on the left hand side. Yep.
and they
yep.
slow it down. You're like, to me, that I'm like, okay, I think there's absolutely aliens. It like the same thing with the Roswell thing. I think we're working with them. I think they've been here this whole time.
Yeah.
I think abductions are just aliens acting out. That then they have to be like, well, you know,
Yeah.
sorry, you know, boys can be boys.
Or it's how we do things in the jungle. We go like, well, we're not gonna get rid of y'all, but I kind of want to know what makes you tick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna poke you.
I'll domesticate you.
I'm
So
gonna
can
look
I-
inside.
So
you.
like unless it's something like that, like they just want to like let's see what happens if we just abduct a whole mess of them at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only way I would be like. But then I have to also believe that there's an alien presence for real in the world. They would do it that blatantly. You know what I mean? If there's footage of it,
but the footage is from like
The footage is also leaked.
and,
How
and
did-
the
if
footage
you
and then
will-
think
who leaked
the-
it? That's the other
If you
thing.
think the footage is real, the footage is leaked from a government employee.
that's
Right.
like that was like I can't live with.
Can you
this.
imagine if that was fucking 100% real and he leaked it and then
I mean, that's
everybody's
what-
like "Pfft, bullshit.
But dude, that's what
Probably
happened
not even
with
surprised.
yeah.
that's what happened with like Snowden. That's what happened with Snowden. He was like, you know, it's obviously not like alien technology and shit, but he was seeing things that he's like, I can't keep this shit in.
He leaked
so
words though. That was his problem. He leaked documents. I'm not gonna read. I'll watch a video.
Sure. But thanks for okay. But like it's still the same logic with Snowden. He was like, "Oh, I don't feel right not letting the world know about this shit." So, and that's why he leaked all that stuff. So it could be like the same if it's real. It could be the same thing on that. Yeah, for me, it's just the thing that the reason why I consider the video is because, like I said, I've been considering the alien tech and the way that now. This is why I would really love in a couple months to do another episode where we go deep into more of the like alien tech conspiracy and the footage, because that was my thing. I told you I got stuck on fucking debris for 3 days, and I just went crazy into the first half, and I felt under researched on like the second half. So maybe me and you can do that.
Talking about the alien, the videos, not the alien videos,
like the videos, the orbs, the alien, because it's like. A thing that's been like new to me is like I bring up DARPA all the time. I was reading that. I was listening. I do read, but I was listening to that one. I was listening to that book on DARPA, and I watched that great DARPA episode of the Y-Files. And the thing they always talk about is like there's a lot of our technology that DARPA had 20, 30 years beforehand. Yeah. You know, I was reading stuff about, or I was watching shit about like Bob Lazar and some of these dudes who feel credible that they've worked on these like UAP spacecrafts, and it like the way that it so fluidly moves and stuff like that, and like how orbs could also line up with the fact that a lot of this tech that they talk about have like they don't really have a lot of edges, they don't really have like buttons and all these like hard edges that like our technology has. So for me, because of all those things, it loosely lines up with that. You know, the whole stuff I've been learning about, like all those people who figure out like free endless energy just magically disappear. So it's like, it's not that I have like a shitload of
maybe that's what he did. On his YouTube channel, like he's doing all this handyman stuff. And
Figured
he's
out
like,
how
by
to
the way,
go-
you don't have to pay an electric bill anymore.
Oh, I make a car with water engine.
Dude, I did not like. That's one possibility that I'm totally down for. If he found renewable energy, he was killed.
Can I tell y'all what I'm stuck on right now? Why
Yeah.
I'm high and I'm realizing that
Please.
we're not going to really talk about the alien part.
No, go. We
We got time.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got time.
Yeah, we got
That's
plenty of
all
time.
I know about it. I've
Okay,
been listening to you guys. The suicide. I kind of wrote off everything as not real. I'm all the way in.
Okay. Yeah.
So like when you were like, we're going to talk about it, I was like, oh hell yeah, we're going to talk about the alien shit.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's the only.
Well, we were gonna get to it. We try to hit every piece of it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Because all I know is the alien part.
No, please.
That's why you're here.
Obviously, I lean into the suicide part of it. You lean into the alien part of it. You lean in the debris.
Yeah. I'm a big debris guy on this pod.
Guy loves debris. We talked about this rough type of paper on this Roswell episode last time.
Dude, we've been moving into the house. Steph's like, sweetie, I need you to unload these boxes. I go, I'm researching debris.
But please, yeah.
Why isn't it the first? Why? Oh, hold on, because I'm trying to word this not the way.
Yeah, you're on your 10th why.
I know. I know. I got real high just listening. I've been smoking this
Like,
for
dude,
30
if they talk about debris one more time.
I was like, we all know. We saw the videos.
You're a fucking fool. It's aliens.
Oh, you think you can?
You guys are still on the suicide? It's been aliens for months now.
God, this fucking segment wants me to commit suicide over the Indian Ocean.
But all right, but one of the parts
You were going
about
to talk
the
about
videos-
debris.
Yeah.
the parts from the video that I think are, I don't know. I also am just reading shit on Reddit and going, that's what I want to believe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
What is it?
Wow, what a fun fact.
But
Yeah.
they were showing the thing that they were showing in the videos that was super interesting was the different angles. I think there's like 3 different versions of the video.
Yep.
And it's all done like it would be super tough to like recreate it in all these different
Yeah.
angles as perfectly as they are. Like they talk like that's not
But
really
not impossible.
So
I don't think it's
that's
impossible, but I
why-
think it's so tough. It would be like damn near like why it was not worth.
And that's why I wanted to go into another episode where we dig deep into the footage and shit.
Yeah.
Because I've heard so many conflicting things. There will be these guys, these CGI artists who will be like, that's so easy to recreate. And then they just never do. And then, and then there's also, so the Ashton Forbes guy who's a big pro, like it was, alien tech and shit like that.
Yeah.
He talks about like little shit, like little data, like information like little pieces around the edge of like this is clearly from a government program. Like there's little things.
There's things that are in the videos that you're like you have to be a spy
to have this in your video.
Yeah, you have it wouldn't be there if you weren't a fucking like if you like you know what I mean. It would have to be Russia or China spies like misinforming the people with alien stuff.
And on top of that, apparently,
or
like
a U.S. spy.
Apparently, like it's not impossible to fake this video, but what the Ashton Forbes guy claims is if you look at the timetable and the fact that it was 2014, and to know all this information and to know the angle of the plane and to know like where it disappeared.
Well, when did the footage come out?
It would be next to impossible.
Not that.
So where did the footage come from?
No. When did it come out?
That's a good question.
Because that was the thing.
I think it was like 2021 or 2022.
Can you do it in 2021 or 2022?
No, that's when the footage came out. No, you can't. Like you can't. They're talking about the footage now, and they're like, you can't make this now.
Yeah.
You can't. It would, or you can, but it wouldn't. It's not feasible. Like I'm not saying it's impossible.
Like that's the
but
thing.
It's not like knowing things that are in the video.
And it's for sure the Malaysian plane in the video is what.
It's not that it's for sure the Malaysian plane. It's. I mean, I don't know.
So this is just showing. So essentially, this is just because that was my thought was like the fact that the likelihood that we have 3 different angles of this particular plane that
it's super high because of how we look at the world with satellites and shit. Now that's what I'm trying to say is we're so locked in on no one. Like I need to know what my enemies are doing at all times. That's why you had to fly one of our own planes into it. Well, that's why we had to fly one of our own planes. That's why allegedly we had to. Somebody had to fly a plane into a tower. To get it.
Israel.
Because you can't. Whether it's a drone.
But you can't. You just can't. You can't maneuver around this planet not in space. Really, it's really tough to maneuver a plane
without being seen.
Without being seen by somebody at all times. Is what it's supposed to be in our existence, and has been for a long time.
Feasibly, and in 2014, 13 years after 9/11, where they would have upped that security.
To turn off a security thing and then just go off the radar for every country. Like that's. All right, now I set up a
But
nuke
again,
shop.
they're not looking for this. They're not. This is not a concern to anybody. This is in the middle of the night. That's
when it would be a concern. A strange plane, a strange jumbo jet. You don't know what it's carrying.
Yeah,
just flying by.
It's flying
carrying
over
a
the
nuclear
ocean.
Payload.
Again, flying over the ocean, not flying over populated areas.
Something's going to be closer to you than it should be. At that, like no matter what, something unknown is closer to you than it should be. I don't know what.
So then, wouldn't that mean that it would be more likely that it would be shot down by another government as opposed to stolen by?
Yeah, but then that would be, I think, pretty known. I don't think it would be. You would know, like we know all the time, like Israel's firing rockets at Iran, and you hear that before the missiles hit.
Well, it's easier for us to know because we gave them the rockets.
True, but
sorry,
wow.
A little bit of a Bill Maher with my hot takes.
but that's what I mean, though. Like I do think but we didn't give Iran, but when Iran does it, we also know.
Yeah, they know
Iran's
that
firing
those shits
them,
are.
and the Iron Dome.
That's the whole
ready.
thing about. Have you seen the Iron Dome? Like how it actually like hits the. Well, I don't know the exact technology, but I've watched videos of them shooting missiles to protect Israel. It's like crazy how precise it is.
Yeah. I've seen the videos of it like happen. I haven't seen like a thing describing what it is.
I don't know the tech behind it, but
it looks crazy.
A quick thing on the footage, and this is again why I want to do another app. And you know, I'm good on Malaysian plane for a couple weeks, but I think we could pick it up again in like a month or two. But I forget the specifics, so this is probably going to be frustrating to hear. But I remember the way Ashton Forbes put it, the parameters of like obtaining the video. He was saying that there wasn't like the time frame that you would have to make it was very tight and precise. So that's once again, please don't ask me any more questions after that.
Yeah. Well, I guess like counterfeiting, like money or counterfeiting anything like. There is definitely tech that we're not aware of.
Sure.
So like I'm not against also thinking that maybe this is a false flag.
Yeah.
This could be just made up footage by the government that's saying like, hey, let's
Project Blue Beaming us.
Yeah, it could be something like that, where they're basically going to try to.
Blue Beam was holograms in the sky, right?
Yeah. Well, this is
that's right.
essentially this could be a projection. Maybe they're like, hey, it looks the
I
same
didn't
from
even
these
think
three
about
ways.
that.
This is how they get you before Blue Beams.
Right.
Start having
And they just got
start having me
connected to
mentally
the
ready to
Malaysian
see a
thing.
plane disappear in
Right.
front of me and be like, I can handle that.
Like this guy
I can accept that as my reality.
thought this was going to be his legacy, and he's like, I'm going to fucking be the most prolific murderer ever. I'm going to kill 240 people and myself. Boom. Does it, and they're like, Blue Beam. and the government just goes, yeah, actually, no, you didn't. We're just going to... There's going to be other footage that puts out there where people like... We're going to make people think that we can make things disappear like this.
Beast.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It could
I
be
do-
an intimidation. It could,
Beast play.
Well, I do
could be
believe.
anything.
I do believe in the process of the government slow rolling stuff because
Yeah.
they do it. They do it all the time on a low grade level.
Drip feed.
Like during when COVID was a thing. So they were
Never heard
like,
of it.
I mean, that's what they're doing
Yeah.
with the UFO videos.
but no, when
Give them the grainiest ones.
When COVID was a thing, when they made that up,
Yeah.
But no, when COVID happened, they threw a couple things out. They go 6 feet apart,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
they later just were like, we just made up the number.
Yeah.
So they go 6 feet apart, and everyone kind of goes, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they go 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and we were all like, yeah, I guess so. We'll stay
Yeah.
home for 2 weeks. And then they were like, 2 years, whatever. You heard us wrong. And then after that, they were like, now we're doing vaccine passports. And then
Yeah.
everyone goes like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You do no, that's fucking weird. And then they kind of pulled it back a little bit. And that is what the government does on a lot of things is they slow roll it
Yeah.
and they see what reaction they get. And it could be like, and honestly, in my opinion, this aids in pro alien tech where it's like they were almost like, yo, drop that video.
Yeah.
See how much they freak out
And
about
that's what
it.
I was wondering. Like maybe this is like the thing where like I watch it and I'm like it's not convinced. And you know how they have the thing where when they're so like make sure you're not a robot and you point out how many fire hydrants there are or whatever. There's things that's to help self-driving cars and robots recognize like landscapes and things. So we're helping the robots learn.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're just going like, oh, that's a fun little
Yeah,
two-factor authentication. So like maybe this is them releasing this footage and me going like, okay, so why don't you believe it? Because we think it looks pretty good. You know what I mean? And then there's some people that are convinced and they're like, okay, we got that guy.
Oh, they could be like market testing it on people.
This is them drip fitting this. Like this was like kind of for them. They're like, oh, awesome! This guy fucking just stole a plane and killed all these people. Let's slow roll this shit out because people will go like, that's not the Malaysian plane. They're like, yeah, it is. No, it's not. And like that's what we're arguing about. Just like how they confuse us when like the political issues come out. They're like, yeah, but what like P. Diddy got arrested? You hear that? Kind of crazy, right? Let's talk about that, huh? And you're like, what's going on in Israel?
I think I just like aliens. I think I'm just going to let it be my reality.
I'm not against it. Maybe the government is using alien tech against us. Like
Well, because
in
it
that
goes
sense.
into
That's a fun way to get us.
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe,
I'd rather that than like
it could be as simple-
zombies.
It could be as simple as they have the editing software that can replicate that. It could be as simple as that. They could just have
Look at
holograms.
Pat agreeing with us, but still him being right.
No, I
Dude,
well, like
No,
I
again,
like aliens.
I like the mystery.
Yeah, but though even in your version, you're like, oh, maybe they had alien CGI to make it.
Yeah. I'm not saying the government's not lying. I'm convinced that fella took that plane down. But I think that it's like what we're talking about is like one of those things where like, yeah, but the fact that we don't know is still crazy that we can't. I just think there's certain things.
Yeah,
It got blipped out the sky by 3 orbs circling around it in a spiral.
I just don't believe that this one guy would have been able to be like
got blipped.
so locked in that we couldn't figure it out in
Just
10
find
years.
me any other footage of planes flying like that from those 3 angles.
What?
Any other plane? Like I don't know where we could like.
But that's the thing. It got the if the footage is real, it got
something we
it
wouldn't
got
be privy to.
released from secret government cameras. So you
And it
can't-
would probably be really easy to do that if you said make this with real cameras. That's probably not hard to do, and that's why.
Yeah.
What does that prove then? If you're like, see, we made it with real cameras, it's like, well, then shit.
Yeah.
So you just want to see it done.
Then it's fakeable. Then I.
Well,
know
that would be
it's
fake
like,
then if they really did it. If they shot it And
Oh,
they
if
showed
they
it
actually
to us,
did it.
because you're like, I want to see other planes like that. So then that just means that that's
I'm
a
saying,
video of a real plane.
Yeah, if there's other, if that's the case, then I would because I'm just like, I believe that we do have satellite things, but like I said, I just don't like those 3 angles from those 3 things and like these orbs.
Well, can I ask you this?
They could.
You think? Because here's the reason why I even consider it. Because one, be so fucking cool.
So cool.
Absolutely.
And 2, I go, okay. You know about DARPA. You think that we talk to aliens probably. You know that we're using alien tech. I'm sure we have alien tech where, you heard the story Bob Lazar was talking about back in the day where they'd go to like the undisclosed area and they'd see things in the sky zipping this and that. So it's like, so do you believe, so it's like you do believe they have this advanced technology. Could this work its way into that advanced technology? And I'm like doing the math in my head and I go, yeah, I think this could work its way into the advanced technology. I think the part that's hard for people to get over is like, damn, they'd really do that to a whole ass plane? And I'm like, well, if they had this and they wanted to try it out, I guess they would do that to a whole ass plane.
Also,
and so, sorry, last part. So like just going down the list, I, making an educated guess, go, I think they have all the tech to theoretically do this. So the question now for me is, what proof do you have, and like how likely is any of that to happen?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am at with the shit, with the alien tech shit. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for this to happen. I just don't know. It's the same way as like I don't think the pilot suicide is out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
After talking about it, I don't believe that's what happened. But after talking about this, I don't know enough about the alien tech to really completely rule it out. It's still, there's a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
There's a pretty high bar.
And I guess that's the other thing is, why would this be, as opposed to shooting it down, why would it, us using alien tech against it, why wouldn't like Malaysia authorities be like, did you guys see that footage? Like they're not convinced by it. Like
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
What are Malaysia? Is Malaysia an ally?
I don't know actually. Like
Here's my
to the
theory.
US, you mean? Like,
Yeah, if they're
like that territory,
if they're-
maybe.
Yeah,
Well, my
Could be one of
theory
those, like,
is
strategic territories.
my theory is, and it's like a broad strokes theory, sort of like
women.
yeah, stroke
Comedy.
it broad, stroke it broad.
back.
No, but I think it's sort of I think it's it could possibly be like the Men in Black walk in and they're like, hey, don't fucking worry about it. Then they just keep going. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows? But that's also too like that's not really based off a whole lot that I personally know. It's just kind of like doing process of elimination. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we did it. Is there anything else anyone wanted to bring up?
you guys gotta come on board.
Yeah.
It's aliens.
You think it's aliens?
It's aliens. I'm gonna send y'all a subreddit.
Send me some research.
I'm gonna send you a subreddit.
Also, some subreddits like with butts and stuff like.
Well,
your favorites.
if you could work in maybe some cum walks or
Couple-
anything.
yeah, something like that.
But we are all professional researchers, so
Yeah.
I will be waiting for
Oh,
those links.
So what should we do next?
Oh, can I pick this one?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I
I think
do-
you picked all of them.
What?
Wait, no, I picked the last one.
You
I
picked the
offered to do
first
this
one. You picked the first one. I threw out this one, and you co-signed it.
Fucking hook, line, and sinker.
What?
You've been waiting.
This
Hey,
manipulation.
hey, you play me like a puppet?
Yeah.
No, don't play me like a marionette.
Go on now.
I saw this one recently, and it was very fun. And there's a Stanley Kubrick movie I want to see that involves this theory. So I want to get into the conspiracy theory of how Stanley Kubrick actually died.
Oh. His
Yeah.
Death. Okay, I thought you were gonna go. So wait, movie. Oh, like a movie
Eyes Wide
about his
Shut.
death. Oh, really?
You want the quick rundown?
Yeah.
Oh, did you watch that? Wait.
I want to watch
That's
it.
the horniest.
Okay, okay.
That's the horniest Stanley Kubrick movie.
So here's the real quick, because I think this is new to
I'm just making sure. This is the movie I was just talking about with Channing Tatum.
the fuck parties.
No. Yeah, not the Channing Tatum one, but like Eyes Wide Shut is
It's a Tom Cruise.
and Nicole Kidman.
Okay. I'm thinking of this Channing
go to-
Tatum movie.
they
Never
go
mind.
to fuck parties.
Never mind.
So here's the quick version, and we'll get way deeper into it next week because I
Fuck parties.
found out about it. It's so fun. Basically, government goes, Stanley Kubrick, we need you to fake the moon landing. He goes, absolutely. You got to fund a movie, though, that you don't fuck with at all. You have to let me make it 100% that I want. They go, okay. Stanley Kubrick fakes the moon landing, hits it out of the park. Then he goes and he makes Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut basically exposes how the corporate elite, like Satanists, operate. And they see the premiere. There's like 20 minutes in that he shows them a death ritual, like a sacrifice ritual, 100%, and they all go, "You can't have that in there." And he's like, "I'm not taking it out." And then a couple days later, he just has a mysterious heart attack.
Huh.
And is the scene get taken out?
And then they got that 20 minutes taken out after they killed him.
Has the 20 minutes been posted anywhere? Does it still exist?
That's in a vault, baby. So next week we'll find out, did the Illuminati kill Stanley Kubrick?
Turn their back on him.
Yeah. Big thanks to Nate Marshall.
Thank y'all.
Nate Marshall from, what's your podcast? Babies in the Mouth. Alien expert Nate Marshall. Go check out all of his shit. Yes. We love you all. Be about it. Peace.
Peace.